Hello, doing two things at once today, trying to look like a cool French girl and testing out a new hooded eyeliner technique that I saw a video of online. I don't know if I've succeeded. I think I have, sort of. Although I'm trying for a very, very light makeup look, I have actually got more products on my face than Kim Kardashian wears in a year. But if you want to know how to achieve this look, let's get started. So, French girl makeup. I've already done my skin prep. I've literally slathered on every single product that I've got. I added a little bit of my Kapari sunscreen, SPF 50, which I really like actually because it gives you a really nice golden glow. Eyebrows are already done. Elf brow pencil, and this is the L'Oreal brow lamination. And I've put a little bit of Rare Beauty concealer on my eyelids. So what I wanted to do, because I'm literally going to a really swanky restaurant in Mayfair in London, I've literally got a whole ton of products here, and they're all going on my face, even though I'm going to try and look as if I haven't tried, like French girls do. Right, okay, so hair. So I fluffed it up today. I've got very curly, very frizzy hair, but I did a little bit of straightening, and my three magic products, they're all from Sam McKnight, and there's the hair oil, which I put on first, and then there's this brilliant Dress to Kill, which is like a paste, which, as I've said before, is like glue for your hair. You just put a little bit in your hand, fluff up your hair, and it just stays where it's supposed to stay. This is the Cool Girl hairspray, which I love, and it gives you a little bit of volume. I'll just show you because I need a little bit here. It's like industrial hairspray, but it's fabulous. There. Right, anyway, so that's what I've done so far. I'm actually going to do underpainting. Now, I don't have the Mary Phillips palette because I am trying to resist getting it, because I know that I've got products that will do the same thing. So she puts on a base layer. I have to do this because somebody actually wrote a comment saying how embarrassing, I can see your jowls. So I'm going to try and cover them up if I can. Sorry about that if you're offended by it, but that's my face. I'm going to use this NARS bronzer in Laguna 3, which is actually quite dark. Can you see? But that goes on very gently. There. In yet another attempt to conceal jowls. She puts it on much more neatly than I do, but actually it's going to be blended in soon, so it doesn't really matter. And then my blush, Rare Beauty in Grateful, which is the liquid blush, which is very powerful. So I always put on 2 dots on the back of my hand, 1 on each cheek, and with my Makeup by Mario brush, I am going to tap that on. Has anybody bought the Mary Phillips Underpainting palette? Because I keep hearing it's really good. So even though my purse says, my bank manager says, you don't need to, I do have FOMO about it, I have to say. Look at that. If you don't want to know why I'm wearing a jacket, it's because this is what I'm wearing when I go to swank heaven, and I want to make sure that nothing clashes with it. Okay, that is that. For my eyes, back to my beloved Fenty, and I should have done this as part of my underpainting blend. I forgot. I can't put the NARS up here. It's way too dark. Go. Foundation, I'm going to use my Prada in the shade I absolutely have no idea, but I'll list everything down below. But you know, you can use your own colours. It's the technique really more than anything else. I don't think you need to feel that you have to go rush out and buy anything that I've got. And you'll see how I've just used 2 pumps. Press this foundation on top of the underpainting to really smooth it in. Now what I'm going to do is a hooded eyeliner again, but with a different technique to the one that I've done videos on before. I watched a lady called Smitha. I'll leave a link to her video down below. I tried her technique the minute that I saw the video and it worked. This is my Maybelline anti-age eraser, which is so lovely and just melts into the skin to the point where I don't actually have to wear powder under my eyes. I didn't add any highlighter to my underpainting layer, so popping a little bit on now. That was the Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm patting it on with the side of my brush that I used for my blusher. What Smitha said was you should draw a little, she calls it the T technique, and you're supposed to draw a line from the bottom of your eye up to where you want your wing to go, and then you draw a little line across to make a T. Then you join them together. Now let me just see if I can do this. I don't know quite how she did this in close-up, but right. So I'm drawing a line. Now she used a liquid eyeliner, I think, but I'm actually just going to use a pencil because I find it just easier to control. So there's the bottom of my T. And that's the other side, and then across the top, can you see, across the top, you draw your T, and that's the T on that side. Then she said to put a dot right in the middle of your eye. You're going to join that dot to that bit of the T. Honestly, it worked the other day. And then you join that line there to join the top of the T here. And then you're supposed to fill in each of those triangles. So here I go.
Oh, that's real good.
Can you see? That's amazing. So basically, when I've got my eye open, it's a bit too thick for me, but I'm not complaining because it's not too bad. But you can see how when my eyes open, the wing's not all kind of crumpled and creased and horrible. Then you add a little bit here along the upper lash line. Look at that. Right, now I'm going to try and do the other side. There we go, that's the other side done. Are they even enough, I think. Now, I think if you put on a very small T, you get a very small wing. If you put on a bigger T, which I've done today just to show you what the technique is, you get a bigger wing. This is a much bigger wing than I would normally wear. But there we go, that's it. And then you can just blend it out. If you're confident enough, you can actually use an eyeliner, but I wasn't. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a small brush. This is my Petal Morphosis palette, and I'm just going to pat on, just to set that liner. I'm going to pat on a tiny bit of this green, because that was my Lisa Eldridge forest green, and I want to have a green eye because it's actually slightly less stark than a black one. Right, so it's practically overshadowing my eyes. I'm now going to grab my Victoria Beckham bronzer and just soften and define my crease. Soften and define. Can you do that at the same time? Maybe. Don't know. Looks a bit weird without mascara, but bear with me. I wonder if I do need something on my bottom lashes. No, I'm going to leave it for now. There we go, mascara's on. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of shimmer to my eyelids. It looks amazing when you've got your eyes open, and you can't really tell I've got hoodie's eyes, which is amazing. So I'm going to use one of the shimmers from the Petal Morphosis and just pop that on the lid between my Victoria Beckham bronzer. If you want to know what I used on my eyelashes, I used the Maybelline Sky High Primer and this Huda one coat wow. I actually used 2 coats to get a wow, but it's okay. Because my eyes are so out there, all I'm going to do now is add a tiny bit of, this is the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Effect. I'm just going to add a tiny bit on the high points of my cheeks, because I can't go too mad. And I was going to wear a red lip, but that's out the window because my eyes are too fierce. So it just needs a very natural look.
Oh, that's real good.
I think that's quite good. I wish I hadn't made my T's quite so large, but I think that's quite a good result. Next time I will use a very much smaller T. Okay, so lips next. I'm going to use my Kosas pencil in Epic, and am I looking French girl-ish? I don't know if I am really. It's a very subtle liner. It's a bit orange, but it's not too bad. And then I'm going to use my Lawless in George. It's a lip gloss. It's a bit yucky and sticky, but
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
it's a great colour. Hooded eyeliner, new technique, and I'm quite happy with it actually. Look at that. And before I go, I thought I would try it with a red lip, and it's not too bad. Very different look just by changing my lip. But it's quite vampy, isn't it? I quite like it. This was my Westman Atelier in Le Rouge coupled with my e.l.f. red receipt, which you've seen on this channel so many times. Hope you like it, either this one or the other lip. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Which one do you prefer, the natural lip or the red lip? And I will see you soon.